Hey, Auntie Feminist Killjoy, how are you? Hey, Rhonda. How are you today? Mm. How are you guys? Hope you guys are having a great time. This is Soul Tribe Saturday. This is round 3, our final round of Soul Tribe Saturday, where we get connected with your soul and the final exam. We are going to, I don't know if you guys can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Because I can have a whole conversation. What'd I say? Right. So quietly. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
I need to find. She's not live yet. Shut. Okay, can y'all hear me? Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? No, I have not heard of that book. I bet you it's a really great read. Hey, Miss Palmer, how are you? Search Empress. Okay, cool. Thank you. Trying to find my girl. I just literally got off the phone with her. I think I might have to read that. It sounds like it's something in regards to what I talk about. Hey, Flower Girl, welcome in. You changed your name. You changed your name, Flower Girl. Welcome in. Ow. I'm gonna have to check it out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out. Trying to see if I can pick her up. That sounds like a really good book. I'm gonna put it in my notes right now so I don't forget. Oh, I think she is. Hold on, I think I just saw her. Yes. All right. I get to see your beautiful face this time, not behind your regular screen. Look at you.
You know I'm always hiding.
Always. Hola, mija. You are always hiding, and I'm glad you're not anymore. Everybody needs to see you. All that beautifulness.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. How are you?
I'm tired.
Yeah, you've been on live all night. I saw you last night. Happy belated Valentine's Day officially. Yeah, I seen you. You was up.
Yeah, and then I had like maybe 3 hours of sleep because then I woke up. It was my son's birthday today, so I like to birthday.
Happy birthday, babe!
Thank you. So I came home about like an hour and a half ago. I've been gone all day, just out and about. I took him. We went to the Museum of Illusions. We went indoor. He went indoor skydiving. We went go-kart racing, and we also what else did he do? We went go-kart. Oh, and then he went to the trampoline place, but I didn't join that. I was maxed out after the third event. I was like, I'll just watch. You go ahead.
You're like, go on, play, baby. Go on, do your thing, boo. Thank you guys for the likes. Welcome in, everyone. Go ahead, do your thing.
Huh?
No, that's what you were saying. Go ahead now. Do your thing.
This little birthday money had me walking up and down Hobby Lobby for like 45 minutes. I'm like, boy. But it's his birthday, so
it's a joy. It's a joy of motherhood. It's a joy of being able to provide that for your son and to have a good time. And it's a memorable experience. You can't take that away from you.
Say hi to you, NaKeesha.
Hey, birthday! Happy birthday to you! Hey, hey! Happy birthday to you! Hey, hey! Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Hey, happy birthday to you! Hey, hey, hey! Yeah, and many more. Channel 4. We love you more.
That's Tiny Boss.
Tiny Boss?
Yeah.
Hello.
See, everyone says happy birthday in the comments.
Thank you, Flower Girl.
And Liz and DJ. See the comments?
Oh.
All right.
See, the crazy thing is, your comments aren't my comments. I can't see none of that.
Oh, you can't see them. No, please give me that.
TikTok got us all whippity wop.
We're splitting the. Okay, these are my view. Okay. I've never
those. Huh?
I've never done this before.
I haven't either, and I'm really upset because I don't understand why I have the host live. I need to have my multi-guest live where everybody is coming on my page. I don't know. I got connected to a what is it? I got connected to an industry. What is that called? Yeah, I'm a part of an industry because I was trying to get a stream key so I can stream all of this on all multiple platforms at the same time. So with TikTok, they don't allow you to get a stream key in a certain space, which is weird. So I have to go through an industry to become I had to go through an agency. I went through an agency, and I don't know if that agency kicked me out of the usage of being able to like add people to my lives. I can't do that. That doesn't work for what I do.
Yeah. So we're going now until you sort it all out.
I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
Huh?
I said there's always a solution, so.
And I'm gonna try to find my best to find it. Like, y'all need to fix this and fix it quick because this don't work for me.
Yeah.
Not at all. But how you doing? You look so gorgeous. I don't know if you radiate, boo.
Girl, I got the box still sitting. I ordered this.
Wait, you like again, mommy?
I see you, boo.
Last 2 days, so we'll see. I'll see what it do.
I love it. So yeah, I love that. So everybody welcome in. Hey D, welcome in on my end. Everybody welcome in on Empress's side as well. We are here. Hey boo. We are on here sharing with you guys your final exam. And this is not your final exam in regards to Hillman Talk University. This is your final exam towards life. And we have my wonderful, beautiful, beautiful deaf doula who is part of both of our Soul Tribe Saturday and also our Healing in Black. And she's here to have a personal conversation with me because this is her grand scope on how what I do as a healer and what she does as a healer in a different way. How she says, "Hi, Empress." What this does is it shares with you the importance of why healing is so valuable and necessary in order for us, even when we cross over to the other side. So, Miss Empress, because we're going to get her all set up and ready to go. Rosa, too, we got to get you guys up in the Soul Tribe community so you guys can start posting in that community so people can start seeing who you are, because I'm about to start driving people over to you guys. Okay? Hillman Talk is almost over. Yeah, my class is almost over. My first 6-week class is almost over. The next 6-week class is coming on March 11th. So I want to make sure that you guys are already in place because I'm starting to drive people over to you guys. All right. So it's a full funnel that I'm about to do so it can give you guys an opportunity. Hopefully it works the way that I see in my head, but gives you guys a full opportunity to utilize your gifts and to start making money off of it. All right. We're moving us over to the next version of ourselves.
Yes.
You'll be fine. You're fine. Everybody, this is Empress.
I'm all holding my breath. Where's DJ?
Don't hold your breath. We're in this together. We are in this together. Hey, blessed by all means. What's good? Welcome into Soul Tribe Saturday. This is Empress. She is our deaf doula. She helps us with your final exam before you cross over. And even though, before you cross over throughout time of your lifetime, you practice letting go of things. You practice grieving and dying away from things. Is DJ in there?
DJ's in my life.
Okay. I know she all up in there. Oh, before we even get officially started, DJ, look, girl, last night I was serenading people for about a good 15 minutes. That's all I did. 15 minutes serenading folks. Mm-hmm. But Empress,
you were singing.
I was serenading. For 15 minutes, I was serenading.
She's DJ clapping.
Hey. All right, so everybody,
I didn't know all of that. When I heard you say all these things, I'm like, you were listen, you didn't share that with me. You out here putting foot on my neck. I'm about to apply pressure on you.
See, what happened was, let me tell you this, right? It's a form of, okay, let me catch everybody up. Welcome in everyone on my side. This is part of Soul Tribe Saturday, and we're just sharing our gifts at this moment. This is Miss Renee. She is a deaf doula, and she is also a part of Soul Tribe and Healing in Black. So we're talking about what was happening in my soul a couple of days ago. We had DJ, one of the herbalists that is a part of the tribe, that I'm trying to move her in some place. I don't know where to put her, but she's got to get connected in the community in some way, shape, or form. I just got to figure out which one is the best fit, where she can utilize her gifts. And I'm assuming Soul Tribe will probably be her best one, because she deals with the soul and what your soul has to say. So let me know. Tell Renee what you think, DJ, and then we can get you started on that too. And I might as well have a conversation with both y'all at the same time. In any case, so DJ is utilizing her gift to read people's souls and to hear what your soul has to say and what it needs to say in order to make your life easier. All right. That's what DJ is doing. So she was practicing on me and Empress. And what she saw was that I am a singer, and that my throat chakra has been closed up. And the reason why it's been closed up is because it's been dealing with a lot of sadness. And the sadness of, because my mother had passed away. My mother, what did I say? My mother is, I haven't missed everything. You said my thing is mad loud right now. I just put it right? Okay, turn it down. So please stop throwing that. We're doing way too much, little one. I don't know why you're doing it, but you need to stop. Thank you.
Oh, you forgot this?
Yeah.
Here.
In any case, so what I was sharing with DJ is that DJ and Renee is that I used to sing with Grammy Award winners. That's just what I used to do. And for me, it's not one of those things that I just feel like I need to just constantly name drop because, that's a phase of my life that happened, that still happens, whenever I open up my mouth at some point in time and I put forth the effort. But I sang with Slide and Family Stone. I sang with the lead guitars for Prince. I sang with the lead guitars for Prince. I sang with Fred Hammond, John P. Key, Kurt Franklin, Donnie McClurkin, Myron Butler, Parliament and Funk, the Temptations. I've sang with a lot of these wonderful people. I sang with the background singer for Barry White, Luther Vandross. It's just a plethora of people that I have sung with. I also was sharing the other day that I started my singing career in Little Rock, Arkansas, with my ex, who was a radio DJ of Power 92.5. And my song played as his theme song for about 3.5, 4 years. And during that time, it was like my embarking part of singing in general. And I've been putting that on the back burner. That was the very gift that my mother gave me. My mother gave me that gift. My mother was the one who harnessed that gift, was like, this is what you need to do, because her overall goal and her dream was to sing too, professionally. And my mother, she sang all throughout Michigan, which was really, really cool. And when she was singing throughout Michigan, she was meeting wonderful people as well. Mine, it just kind of pushed me to a different level than her. It was like an upgrade of her. And so when my mother passed away, it was very challenging because I'm so used to hearing her sing with me. I can pick up the phone. I lived in Little Rock Little Rock is my home. I know Little Rock is my home. When it comes down to Little Rock, Arkansas, that is my home. That's the place where I became an adult. That was my first choice of becoming an adult, and I loved it. I was on the radio station, Power 92.3. You can hear me. My stage name was Kiki. You can hear me on the radio, like from time to time. I knew all of the people on Power 92. One of the radio DJs just recently passed from. One of the radio DJs just passed from KOKY. His name was Mark Dillon, Chillin' Dillon, and he was the nighttime soul. The what is that? The nighttime soul person. When they be doing all the R&B, just like you do,
like
Mr.
with the
Radio.
nice deep voice, and like,
yeah, that's Mr. Radio. That's what he be doing on TikTok. He be doing it. So I knew him, and it's been a blast. And all of these things came because I sang. And she also said, DJ said in the live that she saw a beret. Well, that was Empress who said there was a beret, and then she kept hearing. She saw Prince, and then she kept hearing the song "Don't Stop Believing," and all of that tied in for me because I sang with the lead guitarist for Prince out here in Las Vegas. I sang with him for a time, and the song that he wanted me to sing with him was Don't Stop Believing, and that's a Journey song. So that was the song that put me on the map when it came down to him for what I was doing. That was the very last, for the most part, the very last song engagement that I did. I stopped singing after that because the pandemic happened, and then after the pandemic happened, during the pandemic, I got pregnant with my son, and my mother passed, and so that was the last day where I found really true fulfillment as a singer. The other times that I've sang, even when I'm on here, because I've done a couple of concerts on here, little mini concerts, and I bombed it. But after that, I've done a couple of them on here, and I still didn't have that same love and that feeling that I did that during that time. So it was a beautiful experience. Empress?
that's awesome. My comments, I got LT in here and a couple of friends.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah, this is different. But But the thing is, I did hear you say, just to open up the conversation to start the topic at hand, with your mom, I feel like, a lot of people have similar experiences where, especially if they were super close to their parents or whoever that is that's passed away, especially a mother or a father, the the child tends to stop living, right? And would you say it's almost like, is it like survival guilt? Like what is it exactly for you?
For me, it was the end of a chapter. She was the beginning of my book. She was the very beginning of my book. And so she knows me in and out. Nobody else will ever know me like her. Not even my father.
Right.
Not even my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And to know that that part of my life, the very beginning of my life, is no longer here, one, as a point of reference, because she's been my soul and confidant. She was my best friend, and I still see her. Y'all don't get it twisted. I still see my mom and we still have conversations, but it's not the same, you know. Again, she was my first point of voice reference. My mom would sing to me in her belly. Her voice has always been in my ears since before time, before I was even brought into this world.
Mm-hmm.
And so knowing that the reality of losing my mother at that stage or at any point, knowing that that no longer exists is detrimental. And you do deal with the guilt of moving forward. Because if you move forward, then the reality is, for some, I know for me, that the reality is if I move on, if I move forward, I might lose my mother. I might forget my mom. I might forget her voice. I might forget who she is. My mom never left me. And if I keep living this life, then that means I'm leaving my mother behind. And I can't do that.
Would you say it's the idea of deny? Would you say that you haven't fully accepted it?
I don't have a choice but to accept it, but I hear what you're saying. Sometimes you can get into a space where you're in a bit of disillusion, um, because um, this person has been the makeup of who you are. Where do you go from there? The question that you asked, and the reason why I hesitated just a little bit, is because the first therapist that I had um, pretty much deemed me delusional. She was like, you believe that your mom is here to help you, and your mom actually passed away. So how is your mother here to help you? Why do you lean so much on her spirit when your mother's not here?
It wasn't the right therapy.
No, we moved on from her.
Very quick.
And it's challenging when you get into a space like that, because you are so open and vulnerable, and you are seeking assistance in rationalizing and going through the grief process. Like, this woman is telling me to disregard the fact that my mother's spirit still looms around me and still helps me energetically. She's asking me to put that to the side, therefore questioning my whole belief system, which is like, wait a minute, why do I have to constantly prove something to you in order for you to understand that this is who I am and this is what I believe in?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, and this is the reason why I'm saying this, is because even though we might go through, even though we may go through to a grieving session, even though we may go through a grieving session, we choose and Solana Geechee Queen. Hey, I love my Geechee people. Welcome in, baby. Even though we go through our own grieving process, we are open. And the thing is, when we go through therapy and choose the therapist in our lives, we have to be very conscious, because we're opening up ourselves to these people. And that's one reason. And I know some of us are therapists, because this is what you do. You're like a soul, a death doula. This is what you do. This is the reason why I want.
Told me that I need to. My therapist said, telling people you need therapy.
Yeah, because you are, right? You are. And so this is why it's important to have a soul tribe and have you in it in Healing in Black, because death is an issue that many people go through, and it's not just with family members. It truly is about life. And I'm loving that you're asking me all of the questions, because this is people seeing how you act and how you work with us. This is advertisement for you.
Is it? No, because I'm asking because I like to jot down a few notes, just things that I want to cover, and I came across, there's 5 stages of grief, right? The first stage of grief is denial. It's the more so, and it's really, and denial is not so much so like you're trying to, like, you don't believe that that has happened. It's more so of your psyche, right? Like because your brain hasn't been able to wrap yourself around the idea that your loved one has passed away. You have to kind of take it in doses, or like in degrees, right? So a lot of times it's more like, I can't believe that happened, more so than you going against it. And then there's anger, right? Then once it's like sunken in that this individual is gone, or even, once again, it's not just people, right? It's things. Because even for myself, it took me a really, really long time to realize that my reality has changed and it's not going back to what it used to be. Because I used to wake up in the morning. I used, for 3 years straight, when I lived in Arizona, sometimes I'll drive and then I'll look around. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I live in Arizona. Like I live it, like, this is for real. Like, I really live in Arizona. And it just used to, like, there's just this feeling that used to come up for me, because I couldn't wrap my head around my reality, especially in the way that it had happened so quickly, and just a huge change overnight. I was in denial, like, right? There was a point where I'm like, oh, there was this thought in the back of my head, like, oh, I'm gonna go home soon. Like, I'm gonna, I'm still on vacation. I'm still on vacation. But because that's how I came out here. I was on vacation in all reality. Like, I came out here on vacation, and then COVID happened. And then that was it. And then my entire life changed. Thank you for joining the team, K2. So we go through reality, we go through denial, where we can't even fathom that this has happened. Even if our loved ones were sick, right? It's still like, they're really gone. Like, this really has happened. And then we get angry. I was stuck in the anger stage for a really long time. And like I've told you before, I really, really wish that someone had, like, I for some reason, I didn't think that I was grieving. I didn't even know what to attach what I was feeling. Like, I just didn't understand what I was feeling. I was just kind of going through the motion on survival mode, and not really realizing that I was grieving my old life, or like the old version of myself, or even grieving the life that I was anticipating for myself, or the expectations that I had for myself. Right? So I was angry. And that showed up in so many different ways. And then once
Got to know, sorry, one of the comments is got to know in order to get through it. What you're saying.
sure, yeah,
Thank you, Elderwood.
you have to be able to identify it. You have to, because when you don't, you're just going through the motion. You're feeling some type of way. And that's another thing too. Like, we tend to just say, oh, we're depressed. Well, depression is like an umbrella. There's so many other emotions that fall under depression. So when you're just saying you're depressed, you're just kind of over really looking how you truly feel. And so you're not identifying the true emotion that you're actually going through. So yeah. And then there's the bargaining stage, right? I think the bargaining stage is more so like survival guilt. Like survivor guilt, where it's like, why couldn't it be me? Or even so, I should have, I could have, I would have, I should have called that day, I should have came in.
So while you're talking about that, two things. Elderwood says that we wonder why we keep going through the same things over and over again.
Yes, exactly.
And then what you were talking about just now, that was the number one thing that I was constantly playing in the back of my mind. The guilt of it, hey DJ, the guilt of it was concerning me because it's like my mom died unexpectedly. She passed away in her sleep. She was sick for a time, but I had thought that she would get over it. She thought she would get over it. And knowing that that was constantly playing in the back of my mind, like, I should have called. I should have been home. I just had my son and I was going through depression and my son was like crying throughout the night. I should have took out the time, even though I was exhausted. I should have took out the time. I should have called my cousins. I should have called my brother. I should have called my aunt. It was just so many things. And that put me in a space where I was paralyzed. Keep going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when all reality is you were going through your own stuff, right? And that's just unfair. That's unfair to you. And it almost feels like punishment. I hear, a lot of times I talk to a lot of people and it's almost as if they punish themselves. Because they feel like they could have done something to prevent it or even to be able to be present, like you said. You should have been home. In all reality, like you just had a baby, and so once we've gotten through the bargaining stage, we then start to experience depression. You can hear me? Then you go through depression, right? The sadness, the not getting out of bed. A lot of people end up wanting to self-unalive. A lot of times I talk to a lot of people that are willing to self-unalive simply because they're, yeah. You look like
And see,
making that face.
because real talk, I ain't even gonna lie. I'm here to keep it honest because these are same feelings what she's saying, and this is statistically proven. And this is what people have felt. I ain't even gonna lie. Before my surgery, okay. Before my surgery, yeah. Even though I was on TikTok and I was trying to be an inspiration, I had let y'all know up front, I'm not doing this for y'all. I'm really doing this for myself. That song, sometimes you have to encourage yourself. Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
That was me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because
this feeling's gonna last forever too. You just in that rut.
Yeah, that was me. And I was cool with not being here on after that operation table. I was cool with it because I know that the reality is I couldn't do it myself. One, because it went against my moral compass. Right? That's one. Two, my mom wouldn't have been happy about that. I ain't want her. Yeah. Thank you,
I talk to
Woods.
so many people and I get it. I truly get it. When people are like, well, like you said, like I'm not gonna do it, but if somebody there's what I do for work, but I'm not gonna share too much of that, right? I've encountered people that will literally say, well, they will want to put themselves in places, like literally will go to places, even pay people to harm them. Like they want to put themselves in harm's way.
I'm not even gonna, I'm being so transparent with y'all because I know that this journey for me that I went through is going to help someone else out. Because so many people have been afraid to say it, I'ma say it.
Yeah.
And I'ma say it with my whole chest because this is the goal is to break you free from this, to let you know that you are not alone. I'm saying this with my whole chest. I'm walking out here in Las Vegas, Nevada, lost my car, lost my home, lost everything. And I would purposely question whether or not I should jump in front of a moving car. I'm not even gonna lie.
No, those are real feelings.
I ain't even gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
Many times. Many times. Drop my son off. I'm just saying. I dropped my son off at the daycare My girl is my best, one of the best people that could ever watch my son and love my son with the best intentions. I wouldn't give my son to nobody else but her. She knows that because he's in the best care when he's with her, hands down, no question. So for me, it was like my son is gonna be okay. He'll be better without me.
Yeah,
I'm not
especially
even gonna
when
lie.
we
I'm not
wake
even gonna
up and
fake the funk
function.
on this. I'm
Right.
just not.
Right. Especially when we can't wake up and function in the way that we want to, right? It's like what use am I?
Showers, days, sometimes weeks. I promise y'all, it's bad. And that's not who I am. I need to take a shower every day. You know what I'm saying? Because I like to smell good. But during that time,
There's no energy for it, right?
didn't have no energy, didn't have the love, didn't have the desire, didn't have the want, didn't want. I was mentally gone. On top of the fact that I was dealing with the fact that my son's father had left me after I found out I was 1 month pregnant with my son. I was dealing with postpartum depression
Mm-hmm.
at that time. I was just coming out of postpartum depression the very day that I was like, I'm going to pick up my stuff. I'm going to start cleaning my house. I'm going to start doing all of these things. That very day, I had found the energy to finally get myself back to where I needed to be, where I wanted to go. My mom passed away. So in that, I had two deaths that happened. One that happened naturally within my own life. And then the very next day, when I thought that I was coming to myself from dealing with the grief of dealing with being pregnant by myself all alone during COVID, knowing that I had to take care of myself all alone during COVID, taking myself back and forth to the doctor's office, not having a Lamaze class by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the things that I went through, and these are all stages of death in its own way, shape, and form.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I mean, that's gonna be a whole nother live, like for real, like talking about the grieving process once you've had a child, right? Your body doesn't feel like yours anymore. Your life has changed dramatically, right? Like it's cute, when you're pregnant, the belly's there, like everyone's paying attention to you, right? Like people are getting up and giving you this chair. Like it's cute. You get to eat whatever, you get to. But then once you realize that you solely is in charge of someone else's life, like literally, we don't think that far. We don't.
No, because oh, you're so beautiful. You know how many men was hitting up on me? I had more men, girl, I had more men hit on me while I was pregnant
Yes.
than any other time in my life. I'm like, wait a minute. And then all of a sudden, I'm not cute no more. My nose is swollen, my lips are big, and I ain't got no more attention. Girl,
Hair falling out. All
I
of
still got postpartum hair. I still got postpartum hair. I'm just saying, Elder Woods. I was the bee's knees. I was a full whole snack and a snack. I was a whole entree and a snack.
but you still are.
I know, but I'm just saying I had the whole snack inside me. I was a whole entree and a snack when I was pregnant.
So yeah, that's another huge grief
Full combo.
moment that women go through that needs to really be talked about. So I'm definitely gonna cover that for
We
sure
gonna do that. We'll do that.
because we don't talk about it often. Because I feel like if we do, just like about everything else, right? The more that we talk about it's normal. But I feel like what's normal, what I know to be true, or the things that I know, we can't assume that somebody else know, right? Because we have a lot of these conversations, and you'll hear that people don't know or don't understand, or even go there when it comes to these certain topics. And so I feel like that's what keeps a lot of people cornered and they're scared because they feel like they're the only ones experiencing a lot of these things. I mean, I talk to a lot of people, and sometimes the things that they're sharing, they're like, I feel so lonely. I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, I've been there. Like, I've been there, and I can tell you, and I know 5 people off the top of my head that's experienced the same thing. And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah. You're not alone in not brushing your teeth for 5 days. Like, you're not alone.
That part.
You're not alone in that. So, when we're depressed, when
Thank you, Elder Woods, for stopping by.
when we're depressed, it definitely feels like it's never going to change. It's never going to get better. But I mean, I'm a testament to it. It definitely does get better. But we have,
Hold on. And when you lose a loved one and or a parent, I'ma say it does not get better, but you learn to work within it.
yeah. But that's the
And
thing.
that is a strength.
You have to allow yourself to go through it. I feel like a lot of times people, well, let's not even people, right? We live in a society, because it does not feed the capitalistic world that we live in. Like grievance, like when you what's the word when somebody dies at work in your family, and they give you 2 days. What's 2 days?
Bereavement.
Yeah,
Bereavement.
what's 2 days? 2 days? Like, my mama just died and you're only giving me 2 days?
Took me 2.5 years and I still have my moments.
Right. And we don't live in a culture that even allows you to grieve. It's almost like, okay, well, they're 6 feet under, service is over. But even within your own community, right? It's like they'll when the moment happens, they show up, people are there, and then boom, reality hits, because now everybody's back to work. It's been like, now you're alone. There's no support system in that way. And people just kind of expect you to kind of get up and go and move on. And I think that that's another thing that keeps us stuck, because you're not processing it properly. Because then you feel like something's wrong with you as to why I can't get up in the morning. Like, why can't I eat? Like, what's wrong with me? But you've lost someone. And even in connection to what we know, you're connected to that person. Especially if it's your mother or your father or family, like, you're genetically connected to that individual that is now gone. So definitely,
I saw that too, Dee. D Hicks says, I saw a TikTok today of a little boy that got his mom a Valentine's gift instead of eating lunch today. Did you see that one on TikTok? Get out of there. It made me cry. It made me think of my mom, and I cried all morning. Yeah. And she was bawling. It was the sweetest little thing, because the little boy looked at his mom, and she was like, he bought her the gift, and he was like, I bought this for you. And she's like, you did? And he was like, yeah. And she said, but you didn't even buy your lunch money. He was like, no, mommy, you're too important to me. Like, right? And it makes because that's how we all feel when it comes down to losing our moms, our parents, our grieving our loved ones. Those people are so validly important to us that getting to the point of the depression, because we're going to go through all 5 stages, getting to the point of depression puts us in a space where, the love that we had for that person, how can we move on, because they were so valuable to us. Yeah, I couldn't watch the whole thing because I was like, I got to keep scrolling, because if I don't, I'm going to start crying. It's not going to be good. We're going to get to that point too, I know.
Reading Return to Love, it was really, it said something really, I guess, profound would be the word. It was saying, when we're grieving, it's really the idea, what really hurts the most is that we're no longer able to love. It's not that the person is gone, is that we're no longer able to express the love that we have for them towards them. Like they're no longer there, so they're like that feeling you can no longer give it out. And that's what hurts the most when you're grieving.
And it was, I think it was the guy. It's a guy. He's a very great film artist, and he was talking about the breakdown of grief, and he was saying, and he's on TikTok too. I can't King something, but he was talking about how grief is the ultimate form of love. When you grieve someone, that means that you truly did love that person.
Sure.
And that's transformative because you don't have to look at it from the depressive point of view, like, and then people are like, trying to console you, like, it's going to be okay, you can get over it, it's going to be fine. No, you can't get over it. You can't get over someone you love. Now, if it was a material exchange, then yeah, you can get over them in a heartbeat. But if they left a lasting impression on you, like a family member or a close friend, and your friends are your family members, or someone who's very close to you, the grief is going to hurt. It's going to be deep because you love them just as deep.
We have to feel, for me, what I don't want people, like, it's okay. It's okay to feel in all the ways that we feel. The issue that becomes at hand is being stuck there, right? I've had individuals reach out and I'm in it, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so not to downplay time, right? But in the way that they're expressing their grief, you would think that this person died yesterday. And when they're like, oh yeah, no, it's been 35 years. I'm like, 35 years.
I will tell you this. I think it was like within the year of my mom passing away. And I went to the mountains out here in Las Vegas. So, we in the valley. We in the valley. I went to the mountains, and this was my epiphany moment. And I climbed the mountain. It's the lone mountain out here. I climbed the mountain halfway, and I stopped. And in that moment that I stopped, I cried, I screamed, I yelled. I did all of those things. I did, but you gotta watch Chocolate Olympia, okay? So I'm sitting here and I'm crying, and I had an epiphany moment. I had an epiphany moment because I had to make a choice of whether or not I wanted to continue to go up the mountain or if I wanted to go back down. And the moment that I lost my mom was the pivotal moment where I had to make a decision. What is it that she would want me to do? What is it that I need to do for myself? What is it that I need to do for my son? Because it's easy to make that same cycle, like you're saying, still talking about it 35 years from a hurt place and not from a place where you've evolved. We can wallow in it. And we have every moment to wallow in it. But at some point, we can't let that be our holdback and our setback from preventing us from doing the very thing that we're supposed to do. And this is where the grief process of learning how to let go of things, because I remember this like the very day, like it happened yesterday. My mom looked at me. The last time I saw my mom physically, my mother looked at me and she said, baby, I said, Mama, why you gotta go? I want you to stay. It was Christmas Eve. Her birthday was the very next day. I was like, Mama, you need to stay. What you tripping? You tripping? And she looked at me and she said, baby, you need to start letting go of things and stop holding on to things so tightly. Because when it's time for things to be gone, you're gonna have to let them go. And for me, when she said that, that was kind of like her saying her final goodbye.
Yes,
hey,
preparing you.
Yeah, let me know that she's gonna say her final goodbye. That was her saying her final goodbye. I don't know if that was, innately. I don't know if she knew, but her spirit let me know that was her saying goodbye. Thank you, boo.
Yeah, and you hear that quite often too, and it kind of makes you question: Do do an individual know when their time is running out? Do they know? What do you?
I mean, throughout the times, throughout systems, and throughout stories, some people do, because you start seeing the ancestors come. You know, like Rosa, she's the soul regression. She's gonna tell you, yes. You start seeing your ancestors. Like, the thing that scares me a little bit is like when my family members, because now that I'm tapped in and I see people, although my mom's passing was sudden, I think she knew. Yeah, yeah, same. What, now that I've been talking to people on the other side and hearing them and hearing their stories, because they're telling me their stories, what I am learning is that their spirits already knew, because you start seeing your family members coming by to say hi all of a sudden. You start seeing the ancestors stopping by and saying hi. Your death is prepared by the soul. There is no accidental deaths. Right. People start saying hi to you. You start to get into a panic because you start getting afraid. Like, I have a feeling that one of my family members, or two of my family members, are on the verge of passing away right now. Because of what they see. And for me, looking at the ancestors on the other side, it makes me question, like, if I see the ancestors one too many times, does that mean the next day I'm going to be gone? Like, these are my questions. She started doing more family dinners and outings. Yes, because that's their way of saying goodbye. I had one friend, her name is Chrissy Satterfield, dear friend of mine, one of the girls that I grew up with. She was unalived at 16. She was pregnant during that time. And before she left this world, what she did, me and her were the same age. So she was the very first person I lost in this life. And I always bring her up because I promised her that I would share her memory and her legacy. Because me and her had a conversation, and she told me up front, we were like 12 years old. She told me, she was like, I'm going to die early. I'm going to die young. And I was like, no, I'm going to die young. And she's like, no, you're going to live a long life, but I'm going to die young. 4 years later, she passed away. But before she passed away, she connected with all of her family members. She went out to dinner with them. She reached out and called them. She made sure that she was present. Her spirit was letting her family members know that she was leaving. And within about a month span, she was shot. I mean, pew-pewed in the shower. It was a tragic ending, but her spirit knew what was going to happen, and her spirit gave her family enough ample time for them to say their final goodbyes. I'm a 90s kid, so a lot of pew-pewing happened to a lot of my friends, so don't mind me if I bring it up. It's part of the PTSD of living in the hood.
That's a reality right there. That's a reality right there. It's part of it. She has a beautiful name. When you said her name, that was a beautiful name. Yeah. Wow.
That was my girl. All right, so we on 3. What's 4?
So, well, no, 3 was bargaining. 3 was bargaining. So it's denial, anger, bargaining. Depression is the 4th. And then the very last is acceptance. Now, with acceptance, what people misconstrue with acceptance is like, you're not cool with it. Just like how you hesitated. You're like, well, it's just understanding, right? And accepting the idea that this is a new reality. It's not so much so you're accepting that the individual is gone or the situation has ended. Because once again, grief doesn't only uphold when somebody passes away. It's in any situation, right? Or even when I was talking to LT last night when she was, because we were talking about my son's birthday, and then she was like, her baby, her last, is going to be 19 soon. Just the fact that our children, they get big and then they're not going to need us in certain ways anymore. That's also a grieving process, right? That also is a new reality because, the driving to the basketball games is no longer. Going to school event like that changes drastically as a parent, especially when it's your last or if it's your only child. I feel like I definitely go through a grieving process every time my son turns a new age. But what I'm really proud of is I'm managing it much differently. right? Like the last couple of, yeah, for the last couple of birthdays, I was like, I did not operate or did not process these emotions the same way that I'm doing now. Um, so I'm definitely grateful for the tools that I've obtained to be able to just make it much easier, make it much palatable, because it's gonna happen again this time next year, and then again and again and again.
It's a constant change.
Right, like yesterday, like it's in anything and it's in everything when you look at it, right? Especially for me now that I'm like in it and I'm talking about it more. It's in everything. Like yesterday for Valentine's Day, he was like, "Mom, can you bring me to the store? I need to buy roses." And I'm like, I'm thinking he's finna buy me roses. No. He
Wait, wait, wait,
Exactly. I was like, what?
wait, wait. You didn't get roses?
I didn't get roses. I got candy. I didn't get roses.
What? What?
No, no. I got the roses he passed.
Go get my nephew. Go get my nephew. Nephew.
He passed up. He passed me on the roses. You should have seen me when he was picking the roses out. I was all standing there. He was like, "How about this one, Mom? Do you think she'll like this one?" I'm like, "I don't know."
I don't even like her. I don't even like her.
I was like, "I don't know. I don't know. Pick one. Hurry up." You got me standing here picking out roses. You wouldn't even tell. And it's just so funny. And and it really, like, it hit me like he's growing. He's growing. He has his own perception of the world. Like, it's no longer me telling him, like, he's telling me things. And just that idea, like, it's like my baby's gone, and then that makes me want to be more in the now, right? Like, because I've realized that, because I'm going to continuously go through this grieving process as he ages, it's like, let me be more in the now. Let me celebrate the now, right? Like today he turned 11. I'm like, we out. Like, let's just do the most, because you're only going to turn 11 once. They're only going to turn that once. And so so when the moment that happens that he moves out, or he's no longer calling me every day, or there's no, the other day, just recently, he's calling me Ma. I'm like, first of all, I'm not Ma. It's mommy. Thank you. Like, what are you doing? So even the little things, it's like, one day I won't ever hear, mommy won't ever come out of his mouth when he's addressing me.
This one, he used to call me, he usually calls me my, like my mom. That's what he calls me. He calls me my. Now he wants to call me mother. What? What?
What is going on?
Mother? He's like, yes, mother. You're my mother. You're my mother. No, I'm my. That's my name.
Your
My.
mother.
Look at him.
Your mother, mommy. Your mother. Your mother.
He's my favorite. But yeah, so so that's what it is. Like, we need to find ways to celebrate, right? When Christmas came around, and I'm like, tell me your favorite story, like, play her favorite music. Thank you, Kitty, for joining the team. Like, and that's what I tell all my callers. It's like, when they're calling about a call, when they're calling and they're in that grieving, like, it's okay. I hear you. I'm validating it. Like, I'm so sorry that you've experienced this. I'm so sorry that you're feeling like this, but what were they like? Like, like tell me about them. Like tell me a funny story. Like what have they give me a moment, tell me anything. And sometimes they'll come up with a story and by the end of the call we're laughing. Like we're it's like and then it's like, oh well, I didn't think of it that way. Like go and enjoy their favorite food, put on their favorite color, put on their favorite music.
You were good about that for me, and that was very helpful because I was trying to find a way where I can get through the sadness of the holidays because it's a double whammy for me. My mom's birthday is on Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas Day is my mother's birthday.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's a double whammy. And then on top of that, my son's birthday is in December.
That's tough.
So I'm trying to celebrate my mom and celebrate
My birthday is on 5th now.
my son
My
without.
birthday is on 5th now.
No, it's not. It's on the 3rd.
No, it's on 5th.
Oh, Lord. It's going to be on your 5th birthday.
It's going to be on 5th.
Yeah, it's going to be
when
your
I'm
5th.
5, it's going to be on 5th.
Yes, it's going to be your 5th birthday.
Uh-huh.
So, dealing with my mother.
I'm going to be different. I'm going to be different.
No, stop trying to change yourself. We're going to stick with the age of 4 right now, okay? Let's stick with the age of 4. So when we're dealing with this, what did I say?
Oh, Mother.
Get off me. Get off me, Joker.
Mother, stop it.
What did I say? What did I say?
Stop it.
Remember, we're working on our listening skills. But going through that and trying to balance those feelings that I had, dealing with the grief of my mother, but still trying to celebrate my son at the same time, I can honestly say that I had moments of.
Mother.
What did I say, Nova? I can honestly say that I had moments of grief where I just broke down. And I didn't want to share that part with my son because I don't want him to see the sadness, and I don't want him to associate Christmas as a time of sadness when it should be the time of joy. Go ahead, because I know you got something to say, Renee.
No, but yeah. Oh, I got this snooze thing on here that's really doing the most. Um, Yeah, that, and I'm so happy that and I definitely felt that, when we were on the phone and it was heavy, the energy was heavy. And the moment that you shared that story about the car, like your car breaking, like we were rolling, like it was just like, it uplifts you a lot of times. And I think that because once again, we get so stuck in this space, and I think that it's just the ego too, right? Like the brain is much more able to see the negativity. It's much more able to hold on to the negative things that happened or the sad things that happened, that you have to manually get yourself to a place and try to override it. And I find that to be one of the very best. Like I've done it multiple times where it's like, okay, I hear you. I'm so sorry, but like, let's talk about like, what were they like? Like, give me a story, give me something funny. And 9 times out of 10, like you're able to pull yourself out of that sad space because you've realized that you did cherish moments. There were moments that meant a lot to you, and those moments, and even just remembering them or just by talking to them, you're being brought back to that moment. Like we were rolling, like you were just about to get off the live too when I asked you that, and you're like, I'm gonna go, and then we ended up staying like a whole extra 2 hours just laughing at the idea how like your mom shows up for you. How did she even find you? We don't even know.
Don't know, but she was there.
Right. Like, showcasing her humor, and then also just even like how much she loved you, right? Like just the remembrance of the love that she has for you will really pull you out of that space, because at the end of the day, we're all experiences, right? If we're able to realize that our time is limited, relationships are limited, right? Even our friends, your friend, your very first friend, it was limited, but you still are able to remember. I'm sure you're able to tell me stories from when you guys were 12, 13, 14 years old. But that experience just ended. And I think that we need to start grasping that that's just what this is. right? Like we're exchanging energy. We've been in each other's lives for a couple of weeks, months now, but at some point, like I'm so immersed into what we have now that like if it was to end, whether it was tomorrow, next week, I would be grateful and understand that like, yo, like I met this dope chick on freaking TikTok, freaking pulled me and like and that's what it is. It's not so much like this heavy feeling that we've lost something because we did gain something in that process. We gained a lot.
I would I would totally agree with that. And this is why, when it comes down to seeing your ancestors on the other side, why it's so important. It's the same rituals that a lot of the people that are in Latin America experience when they have their ancestors, even Black people, when we have our ancestor walls. These ancestor walls are there to show us, to remind us of where we came from, to remind us our strength, to remind us the things that are embedded in our DNA, to remind us that we are loved and we are loved greatly. Because especially in this lifetime, especially when that love no longer is showing itself present, you forget that you are once loved. You were once loved and you are loved even still today.
Right. And they're
Right?
the reason why you're here. Like they're the reason why you're here. And they've done that. They've done that. And now that you're here, let's get to work. Let's do your duties. You know what I mean? And not hold on to the idea that you've lost something because you didn't.
You literally gained an entire uh, love source. That now this is where I'm doing my little offer, but you gained your entire love source that you can literally tap into, and knowing that those people who once loved you here on this earth are on the other side, loving you even more on the same, with the same intensity, right?
Exactly.
And understanding that in its whole form is a whole breakthrough, which allows you to be in a position where you can start accepting life and moving on to the next phase of life, whatever that may be. And by allowing yourself to be comfortable with losing a loved one or losing loved ones, plural, because sometimes people get hit back to back where they have lost several family members at the
You
same
hear it
time.
all the time. Yeah, you hear
Comes in threes. When you lose family members like that quickly, or you may find yourself all alone and you're the last one standing. Because there's a lot of people who are the last one standing. It doesn't
that
mean that
breaks
you are
my
truly
heart.
the last one. Yeah,
That
it doesn't mean that you're truly the last one standing.
right,
It
right,
doesn't mean that.
right.
It means that you have even more power behind you. And if you're interested, there we go. If you're interested in learning more about that power behind you, go ahead and click on the link in our bio, click on webinar, and you can see all of the outtakes of other people who have gone through this challenge and got connected to their ancestors and now are living their life and having it more abundantly. This webinar is absolutely free. Check the link out in our bio. Gotta do my little segue.
Hold on, I had to do my little verification thingy-majigger.
No worries. Mine should be popping up soon, but
Um, so yeah, so just to cover acceptance, acceptance isn't, I think people get angry sometimes when it's like it's not telling you to get over it. It's not telling you to like push it aside when you feel it. It's and I've come across information that share like, I know for me, my grandmother's passed away. It's been 15 years now. And there's times where I cry, like I'll just miss, like I miss her. It's just a moment, right? A moment in time where you miss her, and and I'll think of something funny, but it also it tells you that they're here. They've come to visit you, right? Like when you are randomly missing someone, or you're randomly just starting to cry, that's because they've come to visit you and their energy is present. So, we
you're
definitely
thinking of them and they're thinking of you. And
exactly
they're letting you know that they're there for you.
right.
They are letting you know that they are there, loving on you, consoling you. Just and that's the power that you have. That's the power of the 62. That's the power of your soul. She said, "Oh yeah, generic Casey. She's like, oh yeah, that's them sharing that they are there for you and
Yeah.
with you.
So when those moments come about, I don't get stuck in it, right? I'm like, oh grandma, I know a lot of us, I don't know too many of us, if you have, I know I have an altar where I keep my grandmother, and when she pops up, I'll make a nice cup of coffee the way that she likes it, dark and sweet. I'll have a shot or two, and then I'll leave the rest out for her. It's just that. It's just that. Because I can't get stuck in the idea that she's no longer here. I can't hold on to the anger that I didn't get to talk to her before she passed, because I had family members that literally got in between that. I can't hold on to that. You know what I mean? It's more so understanding that she's come to visit. These emotions, just like every other emotion, comes through like waves, and I can't hold on to it.
And the positive things about even that in that statement, when your grandmother comes to visit, even in this phase, two things: energy never dies. Remember that, y'all. Energy never dies, even though their body and their flesh is no longer here and is given back to the earth, and the DNA still lives within inside of you. That's one, how energy never dies, because their DNA is still a part of you. Okay, their memories are still a part of you. Their feelings are still a part of you. But when they pass over and cross over to the other side, that energy in which that creates our soul, the Holy Spirit, that many will say in the church, or the energy of your soul still is still here and still present. It's just in a different form. Energy, all it does is it transforms. Energy does not die, it transforms. And we're just looking at our family members and the people that loved us and the people we love being transferred in a different form.
Right. And for the non-believers, there's science to back this up too. It's not just random heebie-jeebie, us magical people talk. Like, there's science.
We will when you out. We talking about God and the ancestors, and those two don't go together, because in the Christian reality, in the Christian faith, we don't talk to our ancestors. We don't talk to the dead, but we still talk to Christ, right?
Who is dead?
Who died and rose again.
Hmm.
If he can die and raise again, and that's what we are called to do as people, is to die and raise again, why
Yeah.
can't we talk to God, Jesus, Christ, Source, Spirit, and our family members in the same mannerism?
And what
He
I
came for us to
love,
have life and to have it more abundantly.
the correlate, like for me, I hear a lot of theory. People like, especially on TikTok, obviously, this is the platform where people like to debate their theories and their beliefs and blah, 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 whatever. And people tend to get stuck, right, with this one ideology, which is so detrimental, right? Because when you cross informations, you start to realize it's all the same, just in different verbiage, right? Because when you just said that he died and rose again, there's a theory and belief with the Buddhists. They believe that once your body shuts down, it takes 3 days for your soul to separate itself from the body. Now, who did it take 3 days to rise again? Like, you know what I mean? It's like we need to start realizing that it's all connected. Like, we get so caught up in wanting to belong to this one entity, to this one thing, that you're missing the bigger picture. And so 3 days is three is a special number in that sense. And for me, it automatically clicked when I came across that information when I was taking my certification, and I had brought that up because we had to write like an essay about it. My professor was like, yo, like, I didn't even think about that. And I'm like, how did that not click? Like, how did that not click? There's no way there's a truth behind that, because it's that information is given out in other ways, in other beliefs.
Like what? And I know we here now. We gonna dive into it. It is what it is. So what a lot of people don't realize is all of the gifts and the talents and all the miracles that Christ has performed. I actually know one of those miracles that he performed because that's what I do. Real talk, no lie, not pumping my head up about nothing. I actually perform at least one of the Jesus miracles.
I got
Oh,
one.
I do.
I
That
might
part.
help you.
I do. Right? What we don't understand is that these are practices that have been shared throughout time from other people around the world. We sometimes don't question what happened between that 12 to 13, that we don't question what happened between the age that Christ was at 12 and then he came back in the Bible at 30 something.
Mm-hmm.
We don't question that. And we should.
Yeah.
We should. He was in training. He was in trainings from all over the world.
Yeah.
What you say, Empress?
He was in a sabbatical training.
Training and mastering all the tools. Like we talked about this before, when Christ was able to walk through the walls and walk on the water, when he was able to raise the dead. These are all processes and teachings that have been shared through the yoga community, even though a lot of people say yoga is the demon and it's witchcraft. No. Or when we talk about Tai Chi, when we talk about the elements of Chi, honing in your chi. These are all the things that we have been given and all of the practices that we have been given in order to make our lives even better. And because we are so blocked off and we allow religion to keep us separate, that separation prevents us from having the full knowledge in order for us to really work and exercise in the power that Christ has given us. God, source, creator, higher source, higher power of the universe, whoever you subscribe to. We are the examples. We have several examples. We have Buddha. We have Christ himself. These are examples that have been given to us throughout time to let us know the powers that we have within ourselves as individuals, as human beings. We look to Christ as our beacon, as our savior of all things, and we pray to him and we ask him to do certain things for us when we don't realize that power that we're asking for and that power that we're yearning for, it's already been given to us by the creator of all things.
Right, and he was the teacher.
He was a teacher. His overall objective was to teach us how to be him and better. Right. In this lifetime. Right. But what we sometimes end up doing is we look at that as like, oh my gosh, he's coming to save me from all of my sins. No, he's coming to teach you how to save yourself and others too, to unlock the door for them so they can do the same in this lifetime. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I ain't gonna preach today.
They've got it all misconstrued. And that is the beauty of it, right? That's how I'm able to sit in every room and have any conversation, right? I know I float around this app all the time. Sometimes you'll pop up, you'll find me in the alien page. And then you'll pop out, then you'll find me in the Jesus Christian page. Like I'm taking it.
You be everywhere, and there's no judgment because it's full knowledge. And I sit back. I might not say something all the time. I like supporting it. Like if we in this community together, and I see you on my FYP or you at the top of my little screen that says that you live, I don't care where you at. I'm gonna pop up and be like, "What's up?" Not to check or not to look or not to value, not to do none of that. I'm there to support you in whatever you're doing. And yes, girl, you be in every single thing, and I love every minute of it because you have profound conversations.
Yeah,
and sometimes they're not that profound. Some of them you just having a good time, and that's just what it is. That's the makeup of who we are as humans. We are supposed to have a full balance system. We're not supposed to be all one monolith or one thought.
No, you're cheating yourself. You're cheating yourself in that way. I love it. I mean, I have conversations. I got the friends that are trying to get out of the matrix. They only believe that everything is AI operated, which I see some truth and validity in that. Then I got some friends that are all about the Bible. I love it. Give me the tea. Because for me, what I do is I take what resonates and leaves what don't. And I'm just connecting dots. I love to connect dots. I'm just connecting the dots and making it make sense for me. So I don't leave information out at all, in any way at all, because then when I sit in different rooms, then the light bulb goes off for me, and I'm able to then process things much differently. So definitely urging people to not allow themselves to get stuck, not getting stuck in what you think is, not getting stuck in your emotions, allowing that to, dictate what it is that you do and don't do. And it's okay. It's okay to feel how you feel. Accepting it doesn't mean that you are trying to override it. It just means that this has happened, but I'm not going to allow it to take my experience away. I mean, it's heartbreaking. I come across this so often. At first I was like, oh, what is your problem? Like, like, what is the deal? Because for me, I'm very disconnected, like, right, in so many ways. But I see it. I can understand why. I told you I drove Uber and Lyft, and I remember one time I met this Native American woman, and we were talking. We get to chatting because I like to talk, and so she was
We
sharing
both
with,
do. You did.
yeah, that's what I do. So she was sharing with me how her husband passed away, and the day of his funeral, she walked out of her home, like literally gave up her entire life and lived on the streets for 15 years. She was homeless on the street, doing rugs, sleeping behind Circle K's, and drinking herself away simply because her husband passed away and she couldn't wrap her head around it. She wouldn't accept it. She was, instead of going through the process and allowing herself to feel and accepting her new reality, she just completely checked out. And she was just saying, like, I lost 15 years of my life until one day she woke up behind a Circle K. And that is the true power of, like, God, right? Like, when people are like, I don't believe in God, it's like, whatever. And she said one day she just woke up in the behind, because what she did was she liked to sleep behind, like, Circle K's, because then she would get, like, alcohol and things like that. That's how she would, like, have access to. And she said she just woke up one day and looked around like, what am I doing? Like, she, after 15 years, got herself clean, went to rehab, went through the whole process to the point where, because where I was taking her to work, and she was managing a hotel at that point. And that was within like 3 years of getting clean. And when
And see,
she,
that's the power of the mind. I love that.
yeah, and when she was reflecting on it, you could tell that she was getting choked up. She was like, 15 years. I lost 15. I can't get 15 years back. I lost time with my children. I lost time with my grandkids. That's somebody's lifetime. And
That's both of our sons' lifetime combined.
right. So it's just, so when she was saying that, that really, that stuck with me. And once there's certain stories that people have that it just sticks with you, like you'll never forget it. And that's just a lesson. Like, you don't punish yourself in that way.
And it's so much easier said than done. And I
Absolutely.
know because, again, for the last 2.5 years, I've been on almost autopilot. Like, honestly, because my main focus for the last, prior to last year, for 2.5 years before last year, my overall focus was to get I was like driven to get my surgery done. And the only reason why I was so driven to do that is because I didn't want to feel anything else. Because if I opened myself up to feel anything else, that would mean that I would have to feel the grief of losing my mother. That would mean that I would have to deal with the grief of losing my home, losing my car, having absolutely nothing.
That's heavy.
And so, Yeah, and so my number one goal was to get the surgery done, because if I can get the surgery done, then all of my other things that I don't want to deal with, that I don't want to face,
Yeah, and that also shows
I
you.
can wipe them away.
Yeah, and it shows
Hmm?
in the different ways that people distract themselves, right? It's not always drugs or alcohol. It's all types of things that we do to ignore, what's the word I'm looking for? Avoid. To avoid the true emotions that you're feeling.
I was really hyper focused. And so when it came down to my surgery, leading up to my surgery, and this is where the pivotal moment came, because the reality was I was living from house to house. I was a nomad. Me and my son, we were living in the hotels out here in Las Vegas. You know, we were living in the hotels in Las Vegas, not having enough money, because the hotels out here in Las Vegas, they may look cheap on the outside, but you're still paying for the deposit, and you're also paying for the resort fees. So the resort fees aren't even tacked on into the price. We had several hotels that I got for $2, but the resort fee was $50 a day on top of the deposit. That was an additional $50 a day. Right. So all of these things, I was living by the skin of my chinny chin chin, like for real, you know. And when all of these things was happening, I had to. It was a. I always say things happen for you,
Yeah.
not to you. And for me, the reason why these things were happening for me is because it was forcing me to look at the trauma and the hurt and the pain that I had been carrying for the last 2.5 years. And my hyperfixation was getting the surgery done. But my hyperfixation was trying to avoid dealing with the pain and the hurt and the abandonment feelings that I was dealing with. And mentally, we get there.
Yeah, man. I mean, life would do that to you. Like man. Look, I got a story. Like I just not just sharing. Like, and I'm thinking about like all the things that I experienced that even led me to even being in Arizona, and like realizing. I remember the moment that I realized that it is happening for me. You know what I mean? Like when I realized that I've literally given myself a new life. Sometimes, I still wake up in the morning and I'm like, how did I get here? Like how did I get here for real? And it's all
Yeah.
those things. That's how I got it's all those
Avoidance,
all of it.
avoidance, hyperfixation. You
Yes.
got another person that's out here in AZ. Hyperfixation, avoidance, neglect, hurt, pain, all of that. If you don't recognize it, and sometimes it's not meant for you to recognize. But I know for certain for me, because I am not an emotional being. I cry. I'll cry. I will cry at a drop of a hat. I will cry. But because of my Virgo ways, I always have to analyze before I can
I
even
don't know.
cry.
Like these Virgos, man, listen, I don't know.
I am logical in thinking. I am sound in thinking.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to my emotions,
What's your moon sign?
oh, hold on, let me think. Sun sign is Pisces. No, is it Pisces?
No, you're
Sun
Virgo.
sign. Yeah, no, my sun sign. I had to think. Shoot, what is my moon sign? I know it one. My sun sign. No, my moon sign is Pisces. I think.
No.
Let me double check.
Oh yes. Well, you just said you'd cry. That's
I think
that
my
is
moon sign is.
opposite. To be a Virgo's life is pain and
Hold on, let me make sure. Let me double check, because I'm a little off on my astrological points of view sometimes. Like people ask me questions, "What's your moon sign?" I don't know. Hold on.
all
I know
right.
I'm a
But
Virgo.
we have to get through. We have to get through and figure out how to process these emotions, and also we have to process them and recognize them. And I don't think
Hold on.
we have enough vocabulary to define these emotions. Like I got myself, not myself, I got my son the emotion wheel, like off of Amazon. It's like an emotion chart type of thing, and it kind of tells you what falls under sadness, right? So you're able to define it. Okay, I'm feeling sad, but what is it? What is it that I'm feeling that makes me feel sad, or what is it that I'm feeling that makes me feel depressed? Because you have the main emotions, and then you have subcategories. Almost, it's like the best way to describe it when it comes to your emotions.
Over here on this side, we have a lot of people who are saying that they have family members that are Virgos. Virgos are not emotional individuals. We're not. We're not. We can be
That is a
emotional.
Virgo.
Yeah, we can. We're very emotional on the inside, but you'll never know it.
No, no.
You will never know it.
No, Virgos are the type to like, I'm gonna cry when everybody's asleep in the bathroom, muffled. Like, what are you talking about? Like, no one will ever see me cry. No one. I'll never see them, never let them see my weakness. Like, whatever. You better feel.
I be feeling, but I don't even be expressing. Because if I express, then that means it's real, and I can't logically make sense of that whole expression. So therefore, you're not gonna hear
I'm
me.
always trying to make logic, pull logic out of illogical. Sometimes it don't make sense.
Look, I'm not here for the judgment. No, this play. I am who I am. Okay.
You're talking to
I'm a proud Virgo.
talking to Sag, okay? No, not
I already know. But see, the cool thing is that I am like me being on this platform, right? And me sharing my story. And I know that I'm saying it in a matter of fact way because that's how I process things when it comes down to my emotions. But for me to actually be on here and to share my journey, and DJ knows, DJ just popped in, to share my journey and to share my feelings with all of you, that is a big advancement for me. Because all you would normally get from anywhere else is a big old smile. And that's it. That's all you gonna get.
No. So, the 5 stages, I will definitely continue to go over them. I definitely want to paint a better picture, right? But definitely once like having the conversation is always necessary. I like to plant seeds in that way. But we have to allow ourselves to go through these emotions. And the other thing too, growth is not linear, right? And I don't think that grieving isn't linear. Like just because like one day you could wake up and you feel like you're accepting it. Like it's cool. Like it's happened, it's cool. But then tomorrow you might wake up and you don't feel the same way. And you might feel like you've advanced, and I've had an individual be so mad at themselves, and they're like, yo, like I was okay for 3 months. Why am I back to where I thought I've already walked away from? And it's like, that's not how that works. You were okay for 3 months, but now you're back here. Now allow yourself to feel it so you can move on. You don't punish yourself because you're going to be back here again in another 6 months. So what are you going to do? Punish yourself? Go into self-loathing, and then now you're down the rabbit hole of depression. Now you're not showering, you're not brushing your teeth, you're not going outside, and the snowball gets bigger and bigger.
DJ says over here, it's so frustrating. It really is because you have to start over again, but it's a continuation. What I've learned from me is that it is a practice for you to grow through it.
But I don't think you start over again. Starting over again because what I like to point out to people is, okay, you've been through this. So what is it that pulled you out? If you've been doing okay for the last 3 months, what have you been doing? There's something that you've learned that you can apply to it this time. That's not you starting over again because you've gained some type of a knowledge. Are you acknowledging what you've gained to apply it?
I guess, like, for me, what I'm saying is that it's you starting the process of expressing your emotions and looking at your emotions and not avoiding your emotions. It's really another test, in a sense. It's not even a test, it's like a self reflection.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a self reflection.
The most.
It's just. Is there feedback?
No, go ahead. I'm listening to it.
Okay. DJ says it's just refeeling the deep sadness. Yeah, but accepting, because you and me, DJ, are Virgos. Feeling that deep sadness, and this is where me and you kind of hit meet, face to face on this. Feeling the deep sadness is not something that we should avoid. And my question to you is this something that you sometimes avoid? The deep sadness, you find something else to do versus like dealing with it or looking at it straight ahead. And so if you can take the moment to go ahead. Exactly.
You're pushing it down, you're suppressing it, and that's probably what usually happens. Yeah, you think you were okay for 3 months, you were overworking yourself, you were doing whatever in avoidance, and you're like, oh, I'm cool, I'm fine. Da-da-da. You're in a like this little makeup bubble, but then once you can only suppress your emotions for so long, and now it's overspilling, and now you're like you said, and I think that's what makes it feel like you're back to square one. And why am I keep attracting
I don't know. Rosa says it's like a building. Sorry, excuse you. No, thank you. No, thank you. In the room. Rosa said it's like building a muscle. It gets stronger each time. Absolutely. And then DJ says no, she's been moving ahead, going ahead on to live through it. So that's a beautiful thing. And I know for me that gives me practice, because even when I had the whole jaw issue, which I still haven't gotten fully fixed yet, but because I got to go to the dentist. Oh, yeah. But I got the antibiotics and all that stuff, so that's cool. And I haven't had any problems with it.
The clove.
Not yet.
I'll call you. I've been doing this bomb mouth.
Okay.
Rosemary, but we'll talk.
Okay. So the reality is correction, facing it head on to move through it. Got you. But the reality has been like going through this whole entire process. When this happened, it was a reflection of what I hadn't let go of. I hadn't let go of the PTSD of me losing everything again. I hadn't let go of that, and understanding that was just a moment in time. Because I had to let go of the place where I used to stay in the first place. And yes, I am a Pisces moon.
I'm a Pisces moon too.
Emotional creatures we are. Southside, sensitive soul.
Top of a dime. Oh, I'm such a crybaby. I am. But I've gotten much better at it though.
You'll never see me cry. I'm just lying. I'm lying. I done cried on this live so many dang old times, man.
Whatever.
Mother.
You won't see me cry.
But yeah.
Well,
it's a process. I think it's a process that a lot of us try to rush, and it can't be rushed. It can't.
You do have to go through it.
Can you get me targets?
I think this is about our time for us. So I am so dramatic. I tell everybody I'm truly a dramatic individual. I'm an actress. So
targets?
You can expect anything and everything.
Arrow targets?
Yes, to Target.
We're not going. We're not going to Target. Target is on the boycott ban.
No, okay. I want to use Target.
It's on the boycott ban. Remember that.
Nope.
It's on the boycott ban.
This is like we going to Target.
We boycotting Target. Target did some things. Oh, no problem. Thank you for hanging out with us. I know that you had a wonderful long day with your son. We're going to end the live. I want you to share your offer. You guys can see her in the Soul Tribe in a little bit. We're going to get her straight. By probably next week, we're going to get her straight. Where you can find her in the Soul Tribe. And you can connect with her and get to know her and utilize her services and talk to her all the time. But go ahead, Miss Empress Renee, share with us your offer.
Well, my offer to us, to the community, is just a safe space to comprehend and understand what grieving is. I am a certified end-of-life doula, and I am also a crisis specialist, and I work in self-unalive prevention. So, these conversations, I'm constantly having them. And one thing that I've come to find is that a lot of people feel like they're alone, right? And the reality is we're not alone in these spaces. So for me, I'm just creating a safe space and a space where we're able to break down these emotions so we can understand them in a smarter way, so we're able to process it, and just so we can live our lives, right? A lot of times I've come across people who are, like we said earlier, willing to unalive. Life has stopped, it's halted, and we're not. Then now you're I don't want to say, I feel like everything that we go through is part of the journey, but you lose time when you're stuck in a space, especially in a negative space, when you don't have to be. So I definitely want to be the push to be able to help you process these dark and heavy emotions.
And again, as I told you guys can find her by the end of this week, Renee. By the end of this week.
Stop playing phone tag.
I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you tomorrow after Healing in Black. I'm gonna call you tomorrow. We're gonna get you set up. We're gonna get you all the way set up.
LT2 tomorrow.
Okay, Monday we're gonna get you all the way set up, because after doing all these lives, I'm tired. So, but Monday, make plans for me. Text me when you're free on Monday, and after our meeting, our community meeting, you and I are gonna get you straight. Okay. So you guys can please consider going to the green big old icon in the link in our bio. That's your connection to our communities. Hey, War Spirit, how are you, baby? Where you been? Connect with her and all of the members within our soul, all of the experts within our Soul Tribe community. That's including Rosa. I got to get Rosa in there too. I've sent you emails, Rosa, so please check the email for entering in. You guys all have a special space where you can just start posting your content in that space. The same content that you put out here on TikTok is the same content you can use in there. I'm not trying to make your life hard in any way, shape, or form. But that's the space where you guys can book your services with them, have one-on-one conversations with them, get to know them on a deeper and more intimate level, and book your session, the whole nine, within our community. If you would love to follow her, I would definitely encourage you guys to do so, because I can't wait to see the beautiful things that Miss Renee is going to have coming out, especially what she's been doing during the refresh 52, baby. She's going in and she's honing in, she's doing her thing, and I love seeing all of this beauty that's coming out of her soul.
It's not
but
easy.
You make it look so good.
I know.
You make it look so good. You make it look so good, and that's all that matters. You're putting in the work so people can know that you are here and what you have to offer. So please, once again, TikTok put me in prison. Oh no. So please make sure you follow. I'm glad you out of it. Please make sure you follow Empress. And in regards to me, please check the link in our bio. If you're interested in doing a one-on-one session with me, you can definitely do so now. I do offer installment payments, so it's not a big burden. And the whole overall objective is to ensure that you have the life and to have it more abundantly. Yes, I offer classes. Yes, these are the services that we offer for free. But on the outside, this is all the nice little pizzazz for you guys to get to know who I am and what I have to offer. But when you do your one-on-one session, it goes down deep.
All I'm gonna say is my 90 days is gonna be it's just gonna be I'm so excited.
She's done a one-on-one session with me, and she's almost 1 month in now. All right. And there has been a drastic change within a moment. Before she was done with her session, her life had changed almost instantly in that moment. Okay. And that's what happens to many people who had their one-on-one sessions. You don't have to live your life the way that you've been living it in any way, shape, or form. You don't. And I'm here to help you, and in helping you, it helps me to get myself set free as well. This is an energy exchange between the two of us. And if you want that intimate time, please feel free to check out the link in our bio. Click on book a session if you want to book a session. And if you want to get a little bit deeper and you want to dive a little bit deeper and get to know me a little bit better, if you need to vet me, go ahead and click on the free webinar that I have to offer. Yes, and never go back. You will never, you won't have the desire to go back. And I'm not over exaggerating. I promise you, I'm not over exaggerating. You will not have the desire to go back. The desire will be completely removed.
My thought
Go ahead.
patterns change. Like that's the one thing that I noticed within like days. My thought pattern changed drastically. Like the things that I used to ruminate over is no even longer a thing. But I'm not saying that the thoughts don't pop up, because they do pop up. But what I'm not gonna do and what I no longer do is entertain it. Like I like have washed my hands clean of a lot of things, and that's thanks to NaKeesha, honestly, for sure.
Thank you. Because the goal is to separate your feelings from those thoughts. And that's what happens. Your feelings are no longer associated to those thoughts. Therefore, those feelings can't rule you, nor can those thoughts. You are desensitized. And you can look at it from a practical state of being. You can look at it from like, oh, I don't need that no more. I'm done with that. I don't need that.
Oh my god. Yeah, I and the thought, like I said, the thoughts pop up, especially with my son's birth. Okay, this morning I'm up, tired, sleep deprived. Okay, I'm because it's been tradition since he was 2. His father and I used to stay up at night, decorate, and like so when he wakes up, it's like this grand thing. And one of the things that was really hard for me was to do that, right? Because that was the thing that we did together as parents. And I remember this morning I woke up and as I'm doing it, as I'm putting up the balloons and like the streamers and all that, because I go crazy. I'm so dramatic. The thought, I guess it was, I'm not sure what it was, because I have an inner dialogue. So I'm doing the things, and in my head I would usually say, I can't believe I'm doing, because it was very it was hard for me, right? Like it would leave me in a space of like I wouldn't do anything. Like I'm not saying that these emotions still don't come up, but it's not decapitating. It's not what's the word?
Debilitating.
It's not
And
debilitating me.
you got someone who says you're a good mother too.
Oh, thank you. It's not debilitating me the way that it used to, right? And I remember what I used to always say is, I can't believe I'm doing this by myself. I can't believe I'm doing this by myself. And this morning, I can't believe I'm doing this by myself popped up. And then right after it follows, I'm like, I am doing this by myself. I'm doing it. Like I'm doing it. Like I'm doing it all on my own. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, because once the thought of, oh my gosh, I'm doing this by myself would creep up, like it would be over. Like I would be sad all day, like literally just battling my emotions. And I always used to say, oh, my son's birthday is so bittersweet. It's so bittersweet because I would be sad and trying to put on a mask for him. But kids pick up on your energy, but today it was just like I'm doing it. Like, let's go, let's get dressed, let's go out, let's have fun, like let's just do it. And I'm doing it. It's not that I can't believe I'm doing it by myself. And I think that this is the process of the work that we've done, and how you've helped me and assisted me in that way. Because once again, we can talk about these things. I go to therapy. I've been in therapy for years. We can talk about it. We can talk about it as much as we want. We can process it in the mind, but there's something that needs to happen with the body that we can't get to where Nashika can go. That's what I'm saying. I can't get
That
there.
part. That part.
Like, that's not my gift. Like, that's not my That's not my gift. You know what I mean? We all have our purpose, and it's just not my gift. I couldn't do it. I couldn't give myself the healing. Like, I would do all the work. I would work out, eat good, meditate, journal, but still, his birthday used to come around, I wasn't able to function. And that's your service is the only big difference that I can, like, okay, what am I doing? What has happened to facilitate this change? And it really just falls back on you.
Well, thank you. His hands are so cold. He's been in the water the whole time, so he's putting them all over me. That's why you can see my. Get your cold hands off me. No, you're more than welcome to get out of the water.
As to what
I appreciate that. She said, War Spirit says, tell me your name one more time, War Spirit. I think it's Jeffrey, but I could be wrong. He says, I like you manifested your desire. And that's pretty much what you can now do. Like, she'll start seeing the things that she desired. Jeffrey, I was right. Yes. She'll start seeing more of the things that she desires coming into fruition once she gets to the point where she feels more confident, and her confidence is radiating at this moment. I can honestly say that the development of her, and not trying to talk about you in a third person point of view, but the development of Empress, the development of her has been drastic. We can see, like, again, when you go to her page, when she first came to me and she came to this page, she didn't have anything really on her page at all. But I can tell you right now, you can see almost 25 days worth of her posting of her, all of the changes that she's been going through, because she and I are both in the program, Get Your Shift Together, which will be your next phase after your 90-day session with me to LT. And the goal is to continue on with your healing process, and once you get healed with me and we've released you from all of those things, we go to either LT or to Meta, where we will work on the things that may have been holding you back now from a clear point of view. And so as time continues on, the more confidence she has within herself, the more she's going to be able to show up for herself to do the things that she knows that she can do now. Knowing that she has the confidence in providing her son with an amazing birthday party and an amazing day that he's still dancing and jumping off the walls about. And she did this on her own, where before she would always lean on the clutch or the idea that someone else has to be there to do it with her. She doesn't have to do that anymore. She's fully empowered. And because she's fully empowered, it opens her up to be in a position where now her foundation is now solid, that she has nothing but the sky to go against. The sky is truly the limit when it comes down to her. Any obstacles that she faces is going to be something that she creates on her own, not something that has been given to her upon the day of her birth, before she was even thought of in a twinkling in the eye. She's completely set free. So if that's something that you guys are interested in, like I said before, go ahead and book your session. We offer installment payments. If you're interested, you can click on book your session, take you right to the page. You can learn all about it and just book your session. Excellent edit. Love it. On tonight, I'm posting from Las Vegas. And hey, you in Las Vegas, Jeffrey?
Vegas.
Yay! You in Vegas, Jeffrey?
Got the Valley people in here.
Oh, we up in Vegas, baby. Cause do you live here or are you just visiting? Well, this is the end of this video. So if you want to watch more of my videos, all you have to do is search for Renee. Get out of the water, Nova. All right, that means that me and you gonna have to meet because I live in Vegas too, and that would be fun if you're up for it. Are you in Vegas or are you in Henderson? You said what? Yes, ma'am. All right, cool. We'll meet and we're gonna get you off of here because you just that head nod just let me know that you are on your last go round. So thank you so much. Appreciate you, Renee. For those who missed the podcast, those who missed this live, please join us on the podcast. This will be uploaded. I think I'm going to try to upload it tomorrow, and it'll be available on the podcast on Monday. So if you missed it, you can come back and listen to how grief affects you and how we can move forward and move past it. With that being said, your time is the most valuable thing that you can never get back. And me and Renee are greatly appreciated that you spend your time here with us because you are the things and the people that help to make our lives so much better. So please, once again, join us on our podcast. Join us next Saturday for Soul Tribe Saturday. And Miss Renee, get you some rest, baby. You are a bomb.com mom. All right? Deuces.
Bye.
Bye.
Keep working.